Hi, everybody. First of all, before I start, I want to thank MFK for hosting this conference and you people to coming today. Thank you so much. My name is Navid Nouri. I was born in Iran in an Afghan family. My parents, they come from Afghanistan to Iran about 45 years ago. In Iran, they have a special rules for the refugee. If you are a refugee, your children become refugee. Your grandchildren become refugee. So I was born in Iran as a refugee. When you are a refugee in Iran, you are not allowed to go to school. You are not allowed to go to the park or swimming pool. You are not allowed to drive in car. And even you are not allowed to buy a SIM card for your mobile phone. In Iran, in 2010, in 2011, they came up with new laws that Afghan refugees should not receive organ in the hospitals. And hospitals in Iran should not transplant organ to the Afghan refugee. Selling food and services to Afghan refugee in some of the provinces was banned. I went to the refugee deportation center for 2 times for 5 months. I just want you to look at this refugee center in Iran. Yes. This is a refugee center in Iran. Why is not moving? I went there 2 times for 5 months because I crossed the city. This is a law in Iran. Refugees like me should not go out of the city for whole their life. When the police catch me outside of the city, I ask him, why are you handcuffing me? He responds, because you broke the law. Somewhere in my mind, I say to myself, what the fuck are you talking about? What law? What rule? Who made this law? Who write it down? I mean, it's a human nature to move around and find the new places. I cannot live whole my life in one city. So all of these reasons makes me go out of that country forever. Wherever I go, I will find equality. Somewhere to be equal with others. Me and some of my friends, we plan to go out of the country. We found a smuggler, we paid him money. We should cross the borders through to the mountains illegally because we didn't have any passport or any other document. So I think it's enough. When you go through to the mountains, you sometimes should grab the cactus to pull up yourself. Yeah, thank you. You should grab the cactus to pull up yourself. And our hands were full of needles and all bloody. I'm just trying to explain that this is not a normal mountain trips. You should run for 8 hours up and down between mountains. If you left behind, you will die. We were so thirsty and so tired. We find a small river between mountains. We start to drink water. And suddenly the Iranian border guards, they start to shooting us. They killed one of my friends. They shoot him to his neck. His face was in the water and he was bleeding to death. He was only 20 years old. Anyway, for the Iranian governments and politicians, it's fine to kill 20 years old boy because he broke the law. And of course, he's a criminal. I arrived to Turkey. From Turkey, I went to Greece by boat. From Greece, I went to Switzerland by fake ID card. From Switzerland, I went to France. From France, I went to Belgium. And from Belgium, I went to Netherlands. I asked for asylum in Netherlands. After 2 weeks, they gave me negative. And they tried to send me back to Iran, but they were refused by the Iranian embassy. After 1 week, they came again, and they said, we're going to send you to your country. I said, what do you mean, your country? They said, we're going to send you to Afghanistan. I say, I'm not going to go that country. I never been that country. I never seen there. Even my parents, they don't remember that country. It was 45 years ago that they come out from that country. I'm not going to go to Afghanistan. Well, I escaped. I escaped from Netherlands. I went to Belgium again and then to France. In France, police catch me. I give them all false information about myself. Wrong name, wrong age, because I didn't want to go to Netherlands, because I didn't want to go to Afghanistan. But after few weeks, they find out my fingerprint in Netherlands. They took me to the court, and judge asked me, why did you come from Netherlands? I said, I never been in Netherlands. Of course, I was lying. But he said, okay, so you never been in Netherlands? I said, no. He showed me my fingerprint and said, this is not your fingerprint? I said, no. He said, okay, how about this? This is not your picture? I remember when the immigration office make a picture for me in Netherlands, I had a blue T-shirt, and I had the same blue T-shirt in the court in France. So I said, no, it's similar, but no, it's not me. The judge said, okay, anyway, listen, we're going to send you to Netherlands to meet up your twins brother. I said, well, they sent me back. It was my first time that I heard about Dublin. It was in that court in France. I never heard anything about Dublin. So they sent me back to Netherlands. I arrived to Netherlands. I went to the court, and they gave me positive. That was good news. I went to the camp to waiting. The immigration office appealed to another court in Amsterdam, and I got positive from that court as well. And immigration office again appealed to the highest court in Netherlands. They call it Hoger Beroep, and without me and my lawyer, they make decision, and it was negative. Again, I escaped. This time I went to Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, and I asked for asylum in Finland. I was there for 7 months, not 7 years, 7 months. And based on Dublin excuse, they gave me negative. They didn't even open my case in Finland. And they wanted to send me back to Netherlands. So I escaped again. From Finland, I went to Norway, and from Norway to here. In Iceland, I went to Feed Hostel. I was there for 11 months. Some people ask me, what is the situation in Feed? How's the refugee lives there? Just imagine a mental hospital without no doctor or no nurses. All the people are kind of mental. They all walking on all the night until morning, talking to themselves. This is true. Talking to themselves, they all sleeping from the morning to night, and people are there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they got deported. They always have kind of fear and hopelessness. You are the next one. You can even feel death in that place. Some people commit suicide. Some people try. I know this feeling. I have been in this place many times. Just like a refugee camp, like a deportation center camp in Finland, just like a deportation center in Netherlands, in France, even in fucking Iran. When the police come to deport people from Feed, they always talking about law. This is the rule. We should deport you based on this rule, based on Dublin. I hear that before. I hear it in Finland. I hear it in France. I hear that in Netherlands. I hear that in Iran. When the police catch me and try to handcuff me outside of the city, they always talking about law. Same things. You broke the law. Today, you are what you are, and I am what I am. It's all happened by accident, by chance. I didn't choose to born in Iran as a refugee. You didn't choose to born in Iceland as a citizen. Today, you passing a judgment. Just keeping in your mind that you could be me. I don't know what's the difference between you and me. The only things that I know, as a human being, I was born with my right. I didn't go out of Iran because of your country. I didn't go out of Iran because of Iceland. I went out of Iran because of equality. And I think all the people deserve to have equal right with others. That means freedom for me. Thank you so much.